How many goals will the Montreal Canadiens score this season, and who'll score them? It's my annual season points projections for the Habs for 2022-2023. There'll be 25 player points predictions. Hey everybody, I'm Rick. Welcome to Talking Habs, where you get your daily fix of Bleu Blanc Rouge. As rookie camp opens today, it's the time of year to ponder how your favorite players will do this season when it comes to offense. I've got 25 Habs players and prospects on my list, and I'll try to accurately predict how many games they'll play, how many goals, assists, and points that they'll accrue this upcoming season. These predictions are based on games played for the Montreal Canadiens only. So let's get started, and let's start with the prediction for goals for the season for the team, and that's based on all my predictions for the individual players and their goals, and I add it up, and it adds up to 333 goals for the Montreal Canadiens this upcoming season. That's a really good amount of goals. Offense would be rolling pretty good if they get that, and that's my prediction. Jesse Alonen. He's a 22-year-old winger, plays both sides. Last year in 14 games in Montreal, he had 2 goals, 3 assists for 5 points. I think this year he needs to get a good look. I think he'll get that at the beginning of the season and probably after the trade deadline. I think he gets 35 games with 4 goals, 10 assists for 14 points. Jesse needs to kind of get the opportunity to show what he can do. This is the year he kind of needs to make a big impression in the NHL, I think, with the big club. Caden Gooley. He's 20 years old. He's a left side defenseman. Caden Gooley, I expect to get a really good look this season from Montreal. He's in my opinion, a future top pairing defenseman. Shea Weber type. Big hits, physical, and I could also deliver you some offense too, and solid defensive play. Jordan Harris, 22 years old, left side defenseman, but can play the right side. Last season in about 10 games, I think it was 10 games, Harris got a really good look. I liked what I saw. He is a puck-moving defenseman. He didn't really look out of place. He has some work to do. He's got to develop a little bit. This season in 60 games played, that's what I think he'll get. 5 goals, 15 assists, I think he'll get 20 points. Justin Barron, 20-year-old right side defenseman, in a short stint here last year with Montreal near the end of the year after the trade, before getting injured. He looked really good, especially one highlight reel goal. He walked the line, took a shot. It was just beautiful. I think this year in 60 games played, he'll have 7 goals, 15 assists, and 22 points as he develops into another solid right side puck-moving option. Corey Shedeman, 27 years old. He can play both sides on the defense. Last year, Corey, I thought he played pretty well for the games he played in. I think this year he's going to play a lot in Laval. I don't see him getting a lot of time here, especially when Montreal wants to develop those 3 kids, maybe even Arbor as well. I think he gets 20 games played, 3 goals, 3 assists for 6 points. Mike Pezzetta, 24 years old. He's a winger, can play both sides. Last season, he was just fun to watch, had a lot of energy, got the guys going, can rally the troops a bit. He had 5 goals and 6 assists, I believe. And this year, I think on his one-way contract that they gave him, I don't think he plays in Laval very much. And I think he's going to spend 55 games played here with 7 goals, 10 assists for 17 points. Another surprise player from last year, Rem Pitlick, 25 years old, plays left wing and center. Unfortunately for Rem, I don't think he gets as great an opportunity. I think he's going to play 3rd line, 4th line. I do believe he gets 60 games played, 10 goals, 18 assists for 28 points. Still like Rem Pitlick, and I think he'll be able to contribute quite a bit still in that role for this team. David Savard, he's 31 years old, right side defenseman. Very disappointing, especially at the beginning of last season. He did play better under Marty St. Louis last year. I think they're going to have to lean quite heavily on him. He's going to play 72 games, and he's going to have 4 goals, 11 assists for 15 points. He's a stay-at-home guy, not expected to get a lot of points. But he did play better under Marty St. Louis. Let's hope for the best. Yoel Armia, 29 years old. He's a winger, can play both sides. Very frustrating guy. He's either the best guy on the ice or you don't even know that he played the game. One of the two. He had a really good showing at the Men's World Championships at this past season. I don't know. I think he's going to get traded at some point. If not, I have him going 40 games played, 10 goals, 9 assists for 19 points. And, I don't expect anything different from what we've seen him over the last few years. Yoel Armia. Jonathan Drouin, 27 years old. He's a forward. He can play all three forward positions. This is a contract year for Jonathan. Yeah, is this going to be a year that he gives us the season that we've all been waiting for, or just the typical Jonathan Drouin season? I kind of think it's going to be the latter. I have him in 65 games played, 10 goals, 30 assists for 40 points. Nothing wrong with those numbers. That's who I think Jonathan Drouin is, and that's what I think we're going to get. Hey, so before we get to the rest, how many goals, assists, and points do you think your favorite Habs players will get this season? Let me know with a comment in the comment section down below. And if you like this video, consider giving it a thumbs up. All right, let's get back to the list. Chris Weidman, 32 years old. He's a right side D. He is a puck-moving defenseman, can be a power play quarterback. Chris Weidman surprised me last year. He's got more pushback to his game than I would have thought, and he had decent scoring. I think this year, in 60 games played, I think he gets 5 goals, 21 assists, and 26 points. Paul Byron, 33 years old. He is a forward, can play all three forward positions. No longer the alternate captain. They took it away from him this year. I'm not sure when he's going to start the season. So I'm kind of giving Paul Byron 45 games played, 7 goals, 12 assists, 19 points. I don't know how he's going to lose his step this year. He's getting older. He's had a lot of injuries, and we'll have to see what we're going to get from Byron. Evgeny Dadonov, 33 years old. He's a winger, can play both sides. It's his first season here in Montreal. I'm not sure about Dadonov. I think they're going to trade him at the deadline, so I'm giving him 60 games played. I think he'll give us 18 goals, 20 assists for 38 points. He's going to be playing in a top 6 role. I think he's going to contribute to this team. I think he'll be, for the one season, be a pretty good addition. Mike Hoffman, 32 years old, a winger, can play both sides. I think Mike Hoffman's here till the trade deadline if he's not traded before the season starts. He was a little disappointing last season. I don't think he's going to be that much better as far as points go. I think if he stays here, it'll be 60 games played, 17 goals, 20 assists for 37 points. Joel Edmondson, 29 years old, left side defenseman. He is an alternate captain this season. Edmondson missed a lot of time last season due to injuries. It took him a while to get started. I don't think that happens this year. I think he plays in 70 games, and I think he gives us 8 goals, 10 assists for 18 points. A solid shutdown guy. He doesn't have a lot of offense to his game, but he will keep the scoring off the board while he's on. Jake Evans, 26 years old. He's a center right wing. Jake Evans, I don't think he'll be the center that gets that plays the right wing. They've got 5 good centers here now. I think Evans, with his $1.7 million contract, will be the guy on the 4th line. I think in 75 games played, Evans will get 15 goals and 20 assists and 35 points, which seems a lot on the 4th line. And I may be wrong here, but I really like Evans, and I think he's capable, to be honest. Christian Dvorak, 26 years old. He's a center left wing. I think Dvorak played pretty well under Coach Marty. I think he's going to continue to do that. I think he'll spend a lot of time between second line center and third line center. And I think he's going to put up some good numbers. 70 games played, 18 goals, 27 assists for 45 points. Mike Matheson, 28 years old, left side D, but plays the right as well. A local kid coming home to play for his hometown team in his prime years. I think Mike Matheson improves on his last season, where he had 31 points last year. I think in 77 games played, 15 goals, 23 assists for 38 points. First pairing defenseman here in Montreal, I think. And, I think he's going to do well here. Josh Anderson, 28 years old. He's a winger, can play both sides. Power Horse is a power forward who can fly down the wing. He is physical, not afraid to fight, sticks up for the other players, and he's a streaky scorer, but I think he'll still deliver decent numbers. I think in 70 games played this season, Josh is going to give us 22 goals, 17 assists for 39 points. Brendan Gallagher, 30 years old, right wing, alternate captain, coming off of a bad season last year where he only scored 7 goals. I think Gally bounces back somewhat. I think his best years may be behind him, but doesn't mean he can't contribute and play well. I think in 65 games played this year, I think he'll have 20 goals, 15 assists for 35 points, and, play probably on the third line and still contribute and be Brendan Gallagher like we all love. Sean Monahan, 27 years old. He's a center, can play the right wing. Newly arrived in a great trade, a steal of a trade. Monahan seems healthy, says he is. If he can get back to some of the way he was playing before he was injured and both hips went on him, I think he's going to be a steal, and he's going to play 65 games. He's going to put up 24 goals, 28 assists, and 52 points. And considering we basically got him for nothing, that's going to be one hell of a steal. Kirby Dach, 21 years old. He's a center and right wing. We acquired him in a trade with Chicago at the draft. Coming off of a season subpar, I guess you could say, and some injuries and stuff. I think Kirby Dach bounces back. Well, I'm a poet and I don't know it. I think he bounces back, has a really good season, solid season. He's only 21. He's got all the potential in the world still ahead of him. 75 games played. I think he gets 15 goals, 26 assists for 41 points. And I think if he gets that, I'm going to be absolutely, perfectly happy with that. Juraj Slafkovsky, the 18-year-old number 1 overall draft pick. He's a left wing, and of course he'll be a rookie this season if he plays enough games. It's hard to judge what he's going to get here, to be honest with you. Will he stick with the team? Will he play in Laval? I think I'm going to say he's going to stick with the team. 65 games played. I think he delivers 18 goals and 21 assists for 39 points, and I'm going to be very happy with that, personally. Captain Nick Suzuki, 23 years old, number 1 center. Ironman streak, 209 games. Hasn't missed a game in his career in the NHL so far. Playoff performer, team leader in points and all kinds of things. Just a great young player. Nick Suzuki. Will he be a point-a-game player this year? In 82 games played, I'm giving him 28 goals, 52 assists for 80 points. Just under a point a game, but it's good enough for me. Cole Caulfield, 21 years old. He's a winger. Last season, under Marty St. Louis, 37 games. He was on a 49-goal pace. What can he do under Coach Marty for 82 games? We're going to find out. I think in 82 games played this year, Cole Caulfield's going to get 39 goals, 31 assists for a big 70 points. Yeah, don't laugh at me. He's fully capable, and I think he's going to do it.